When it comes to ministry, it's not if, it's when it's going to get hard. Hi, I'm Natalie. This is the Ezra Project. I think everybody knows when they get into ministry that there will be times when it's rough. We know that Jesus said we have to pick up our cross and follow him. We know that he said, no servant is greater than his master. And if they persecuted me, they will persecute you. But no matter how much we seem to mentally prepare, that spiritual and emotional gut punch that you receive when you're hurt in ministry can catch you completely off guard. One of the best ways that I can describe it is like preparing to run a marathon. And you know it's going to suck. You know that there's going to be blisters. You know your legs are going to burn. You know that your lungs are going to be gasping for air. You know that you're likely going to hit a wall somewhere around mile 22 to 24. But you love to run. You love the epic idea of running a race and running alongside other people who love to run. And because of this idea, because of the destination, you decide to go for it anyways. Ministry is like that. We know that it's going to be hard, but the idea of loving and devoting our lives to serving other people has captured our hearts. Jesus has captured our hearts. And so we mentally and emotionally prepare ourselves. We know there will be long hours. We know that there will be dry times in prayer. We know that we're probably going to get chewed out at some point when we have to make difficult decisions, but we're ready. We've prepared. We can do this. We know it's coming, but we got it. The thing is when those things actually happen, they feel so much worse than anything that you might have mentally prepared yourself for. Like running a marathon. You can know that you're going to get blisters. You can know that you're going to hit a wall. But it is a completely different thing when you actually are running for miles on blistered feet. And it's an entirely different thing when you hit that wall. And let's add in one more element. Let's say that there's a crazed spectator who is watching you take part in this race and becomes so inflamed with jealousy that they actually break through the barriers, run into the race, and actually punch you in the face. Because that's kind of what Satan does. Painful things that you could not possibly anticipate or expect seem to happen in ministry, and we have the warnings of it throughout Scripture. King David is betrayed by his own child. You have Nehemiah, who is supposed to be supported by certain allies, but instead they're filled with so much jealousy and fear and distrust that when he is building up the walls of Jerusalem with the Israelite people, they actually work in so much fear that they actually have to keep swords on hand while they're building up the walls because they were so afraid that they were going to get attacked. Or what about Peter? Peter, who loved Jesus so much, but it was Peter who, through his own choice and his own actions, betrayed the one that he loves. And let's just toss in there too that we have Jesus. Jesus, who was murdered by the people he devoted his life to serving. Jesus warned us, if they persecute me, they will persecute you, and it will happen. You will experience betrayal from friends and from people that you thought that you could trust. People will leave when you speak truth, and you will hurt as you watch them leave. You will experience the pain of confronting your own sinfulness, that in spite of loving Jesus and doing everything that we can follow him and echoing the words of Peter, we will stand with Peter as we betray him, and we will have to confront our own weakness. That cross that Jesus warned us about is going to hurt a lot more than you expect or anticipate. If you're a minister who is going through a difficult time right now, I want to remind you that it is normal. Awful, but normal. It was never an if it was going to be hard in ministry. It was always when. So cling to Jesus. Go turn to him in prayer and go read the painful stories in scriptures of people who also experienced persecution. Read about King David, read Nehemiah, go to the parable about the workers in the vineyard and how God sends his people out to the world and they get bruised and broken and bloody and beaten. Meditate on Jesus as he hangs on that cross and do everything that you can to unite your will and that suffering to him. Because when suffering is united to him on that cross, he can take things that are so indescribably ugly and are so indescribably awful and painful, and he can make something beautiful out of them. And when you're hanging on that cross, life seems really dark. There doesn't seem to be any hope. But that's the irony of the cross of Jesus Christ. He died in darkness on Good Friday in a place where there seemed to be no hope. And he rose from the dead. Resurrection comes after the cross. There is life when you unite it to Jesus, even when there seems to be no hope. So keep going to him and give that suffering that you're experiencing to him. It is better to suffer for the sake of righteousness. And that is what you're doing when you're suffering in ministry. The work that you are doing is valuable, important, and good. And you have entered into a spiritual battle of very epic proportions. But there is such great hope. God is working through your heart, and he's going to use this to not only draw you closer to him, but to draw a lot of other people closer to him. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to step into a place of suffering so that you can love other people. The church needs more people to step into those broken and hurting places so that we can love others. Thank you for being one of those people. Here at the Ezra Project, we are praying for you. And if you want more words of encouragement, go ahead and like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and feel free to reach out and contact us so that we can pray with you. We know ministry is hard. Thank you for all you do, and I'll see you next week.